Ximena posted, she covered up your name with another tattoo.
I have no idea that.
The internet went crazy.
Oh my god, you guys, you'll never believe what Ximena just revealed on her Instagram.
That really hurt when she said that.
It turns out that she might actually be engaged to someone who isn't Mike, and that's not all that she has been saying.
It seemed like everything I did was like walking on like eggshells or whatever.
A lot has come out in the last couple of days, and she definitely hasn't been shy about revealing a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff that has been going on between her and Mike. Well, anyway, guys, I don't want to waste any more time, so here is the deal.
Why she keeps changing her mind? I don't know if like her trauma in the past, but I really don't know.
We all now know that Mike and Ximena's relationship was never ideal. I mean, she found him disgusting, for one, and she never really wanted to spend much time with him, so neither things, were never great, things that make a foundation for a great marriage now, were they?
Well, Ximena we all have a past, but she has a colorful past.
So their relationship was always pretty awful, and we now know in present day that Mike and Ximena did break up on 90 Day Fiancé, but now Ximena might actually now be engaged to someone else. So here's the deal. She recently posted an engagement style picture on her Instagram showing off a ring on her finger. Now, I was honestly so shocked when I saw the photo because first of all, who gave her this ring? I mean, is it the guy from her TikTok that we saw a couple weeks ago? And why is she posting about it? Like literally in the caption she wrote, "Gracias mi amor, te amo," which translates to "Thank you, my love, I love you." So does this mean that she is engaged to someone new? I mean, like I just said, we all watched that, they broke up on this week's episode 90 Day Fiancé, and I honestly wasn't unsure if it was going to stick, but it seems like it definitely has. She just never loved the guy, and he was coming across as kind of desperate at this point, so Ximena dumped him, and there's been so much stuff going off screen with all these rumors about how she might have cheated on him and all this other stuff, so it seems unlikely that she and Mike are ever going to try and make it work ever again, so that's why it would make the most sense if she was engaged to someone new. But that just raises so many questions. Like, for one, who is the guy? How long have they been together? Is it the guy that she supposedly might have cheated on Mike with? It's definitely possible, but it's like it could also literally be anyone. We just have no clue. I mean, it is honestly just baffling to me that she even posted this picture in the first place. She's definitely not allowed to do that, for one, because all the 90 Day Fiancé cast members have to sign a very strict NDA to be on the show. We all know this. Not all the cast members follow it, but they definitely have to sign it. And we've heard other cast members talk about it a million times. So I guess she's just kind of breaking up with TLC and 90 Day Fiancé because clearly they're not going to be okay with this. And I mean, it's like, she has done things like this before. She doesn't really seem to care about any agreements that she has with the show because it really seems to me like she's just saying and posting things that she shouldn't be all the time. And some people on Reddit pointed out that she might be because she might not actually be under contract herself. Since she's from Colombia, it isn't really clear if she has an NDA of her own or how it would work, exactly if she broke it. I know in the past, cast members who weren't in America supposedly didn't even get paid, so maybe that's kind of coming into play here. It might just be Mike who's under an NDA and who's actually getting paid for being on the show. So technically, if that was true, it would mean that if she did something, all TLC and 90 Day Fiancé could do technically, I guess, would just be dock some of Mike's pay, and if they're not really on good terms anymore, she probably could care less if Mike gets paid or not. So, I mean, this is all just complete speculation, obviously. We don't know what kind of contract she's under, but it definitely feels like she shouldn't be allowed to post things like this. The show is still on air, and it's like we really don't know what's happened between her and Mike, so her posting pictures like this definitely reads as a huge, gigantic spoiler that they ended their relationship. So now, I mean, let's be honest, you guys. If she is engaged to someone else, that is massive, groundbreaking news. And even if most of us thought that there's no way Ximena and Mike would ever work out, TLC definitely would not like her to reveal that she's actually engaged to someone else just like that. But either way, the whole thing gets even weirder because, I mean, we're all assuming that this photo means that she has someone new, right? But the ring is different from the one that she got from Mike, so it would obviously only make sense. But then things get even more confusing because one of her comments said congratulations to Mike and Ximena, and she actually responded to it saying gracias with a heart emoji. So does this mean that she isn't actually engaged to someone new, Or is she, with Mike again? Or is she just backtracking so she doesn't get in trouble with TLC? I mean, it literally makes no sense. I mean, first of all, you guys, like I said, this is a new engagement ring. It's so clearly not the ring that she got from Mike. So it would make sense if it wasn't from Mike, but from someone else she's now with. But then why would she respond to that comment about her and Mike? I mean, do you think it is possible that she's just trying to confuse us now? Or maybe that she and Mike broke up, then they got back together, and she made him buy her a new ring? I mean, honestly, that seems to be a bit far-fetched to me, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I could possibly believe it, but, none of this really makes any sense. However, I do now know one thing, and it's if she is engaged to someone who isn't Mike, a new man, and thanked someone for congratulating her and Mike, I cannot imagine that her fiance is very happy about it. And now someone on Reddit actually theorized that this might all actually be fake and that she's just not engaged to anyone at all and she's just trying to stir the good old pot. And this is because someone noticed that she seems to be wearing this ring in her older posts too, or at least a ring that's extremely similar. So, if she's been wearing it before this weird engagement style picture, what does that really mean? Someone even said that she could have gotten the ring from her brother, which is just even more bizarre than all of the other theories. I mean, honestly, I have no idea what is going on with Ximena. Could she just be trying to create fake drama with her post? To be completely honest with you guys, I would not put it past her. But what do you guys think? Put in the comments below. Do you believe that this is actually real and that she's found someone new? Or do you think it's just a little cry for Ximena trying to get some attention? But anyway, guys, like I said, this weird engagement photo wasn't the only thing that she revealed on her Instagram recently. In an Instagram live that she did, she actually spilled a lot of secrets, some of which were massive and went against what we were told on the show, not even to mention kind of just flat out bizarre if the guy she's engaged to turns out to be Mike, because wow, she really went off about him on her Instagram live. So on the show, she and Mike had this whole story about how they met on Tinder Passport after Mike had no luck dating in America for his entire life, but it turns out that this might not actually be true at all. During her Instagram live, she talked about how she was actually doing, stuff online for adults, if you know what I'm talking about, and allegedly that is how her and Mike met, and he apparently offered to pay her bills so that she could quit her job and stop doing that, job, which honestly, if this is true, is just hilarious, you guys, because I think this could mean that TLC probably gave them a different story to tell for one of two reasons. Either because it's just completely inappropriate for TLC, and you can't even talk about that for TLC or TV in general, or possibly because if you guys don't remember, they actually fired Larissa for having that same kind of job just a couple years ago. So maybe that's why. So I don't know if I actually believe all stuff Ximena is saying, but it does seem like it could be true. And early on in the show, she did say that she stopped working after she met Mike, which definitely checks out with the story. The job that she quit could easily be her, that kind of a job, you know what I'm talking about. And she also apparently said that during that Instagram live that Mike was actually the one who told her to not say anything. So it might not even have come from TLC, but maybe he was just embarrassed about how they met. And honestly, I kind of can't say that I blame him. I mean, their relationship is just so messy, and we clearly don't know everything. And honestly, I wouldn't put past Mike at all to make her lie about how they actually met. He probably doesn't think it's a great look for him that he met her on this kind of a website, which, let's be honest, it isn't. And especially considering that she said that, seeing him kind of disgusted her, and that, she still was accepting all the money from him, and she even quit her job. So if all of this is true, it makes it clearer than ever that she's only with him for the money, and always has been. And anyway, guys, she also said that some other things about Mike and their relationship, and trust me, this whole thing gets even more insane, and it definitely doesn't paint Mike in a good light. According to Ximena, Mike had a massive breakdown during his second trip to Colombia, and one night they stayed out partying until 6 a.m. with one of her friends, and then for some reason Mike got really mad and went back to her place, and they argued, and she told him that she didn't want to marry him anymore, and allegedly that's when he started freaking out on her. And he apparently started saying things that, like how he would do very horrible things to him and to her and to everyone involved that I can't even repeat. It was that bad. So you guys, I'm just telling you, very scary things if it actually is true. This is obviously super dark and serious, and we don't know how much of it is actually true, if any of it is true. But if it is true, the worst thing about this whole story is that according to Ximena, he did it in front of her kids. Now, she said that she told him not to say stuff like that in front of them, and that's honestly a good good point. Kids shouldn't be hearing any shouting or commotion in general. And I mean, you know, she even said that he really did scare her. And apparently he had a full-on breakdown with all the things that he was saying. She was just terrified of him, which I kind of can't blame her for. I mean, if this is true, it must have been a pretty intense situation. Plus, if this really is how Mike can get, it definitely gives us more insight into why she doesn't want to be with him. And it's just not because of his gross habits. I mean, supposedly, we're going to see on a future episode of 90 Day Fiancé, I have no idea when, maybe the next one, that he has a very similar breakdown, I guess. And this is obviously all alleged, but if it is accurate and he did have a breakdown like this, he clearly doesn't need Ximena. He needs serious help. And it is pretty serious that he could turn out really badly for everyone, especially if it did get as crazy as Ximena was saying in front of the kids and everything. And plus, you know, threatening, like some of the stuff he was kind of threatening and saying and whatnot, really reads like some just horrible things. I mean, don't you guys think it's not looking good? And it really makes me, you know, look like that he might be trying to get her to stay by making her feel responsible for him. But either way, you know, if any of this of what she's saying about Mike is true, I just kind of feel like I can definitely understand even more why she seems so done with him. I mean, if he's been this crazy and just breaking down and making her lie about how they met, who knows what else he's been doing? I mean, you know, she has a lot of baggage too, definitely, and she's definitely not the perfect person. She has a lot of issues. I think she was using him for sure for money, but at the same time, all the stuff she said about Mike just seems like a lot. I mean, why would she want to stay around if any of that is true? Keyword if. She clearly doesn't love Mike. She thinks he's just not, you know, whatever. She's not into it. She doesn't think he's attractive at all. So I'm not sure what the future of those two possibly have. You know, I mean, clearly they broke up, but are they going to get back together? I'd likely say no. But then again, maybe they are long over at this point, and it's just that. So after all, we will have to see what goes down, if she is engaged to him or if it is someone new. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that she's telling the truth about all this story about her and Mike and this craziness with Mike? And do you guys think that she is engaged to a new guy, or is she still engaged to Mike, or is she engaged to no one and just doing it for drama? Well, guys, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please do me a huge favor, hit that like, follow, share, subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.